following KBLA Talk 1580 on all of our socials, then you're missing out. Download our app and find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and on the web at KBLA 1580.
That's right.
Again, you can find all of our socials at KBLA 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
By the way, if you miss any of our weekday shows in real time, you can always catch up by checking out the podcasts of your favorite shows at your leisure. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Got your beer.
Keep following the leader.
Oh my God.
Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
And it's time.
Welcome in. I hope that you are comfortable. Grab a beverage, some libations, and lock in with June Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. It is Memorial Day weekend, y'all. And of course, we're going to glide you into what we hope is a prosperous, relaxing, and abundant holiday weekend. We're going to get you going with all the trending topics and headlines because, you know, that's what we do here. And, of course, today it's all about money, jokes, and drama. You know, some of the things we frequently discuss. Jamie Foxx, he's back on the mic. He's talking, and he shared a recent conversation that he had with Eddie Murphy, the legend Eddie Murphy. So we're going to get into the details of that, and I actually agree with Jamie, but we're going to see what you guys think about that. We're also going to get into 2 Chainz revealing what Birdman's tax was on top of the charge for a Lil Wayne verse back in the day. We're going to get into those numbers and see if you think, once again, is it worth it? You know? And of course, you know, there's some little updates to Anthony Edwards. Even though he's in the playoffs, he has some distractions that he feels are spreading to his teammates as well. So we'll get into some of those details and, of course, more trending topics and headlines. That's really like, you know, a bad subplot. But we'll get into the details of that. And coming up at the end of the show, I've got a quick little conversation with Raising Kanan star Patina Miller and series creator Sasha Penn. The series finale was last week, and so this is a conversation about what happened in that. So it's some spoilers in this interview. So if you haven't watched the season finale, you know, maybe just turn the radio down or something. But there's also a lot of good information about the upcoming season 5, so make sure you lock into that. All right, you know how we do this. Before I get into the topics of the night, I got a couple of other items that you need to be aware of. First up, shout out to Bryce James. Shout out to the Combs twins. They graduated from Sierra Canyon yesterday. Big ups to them. Congratulations. We know Bryce is headed to which one of the Arizonas? It is University of Arizona. Okay. I get those mixed up, the Wildcats. So shout out to him. He's going to be balling out over there. And the Combs twins are opting not to go to college. They are diving headfirst into an apparel line. So we wish them well with that. So we'll see how it goes. And big ups to Dr. Dre. He donated $10 million to Compton High School to help fund the new $200 million performing arts campus that now bears his name, right? During the ribbon cutting ceremony, which took place this week, he said, "Dream big, I did." It was celebrated alongside school board members, community leaders. Don't know if you guys remember Ayanna Davis, who sits on the council there, came and joined us on the show. So shout out to all of them over there. The campus looks amazing. You know, that's what you want. Give back to the community that nurtured and raised you, you know? I think it's an important thing, especially for that neighborhood, because you don't usually see campuses like this in areas that are generally considered underserved. So big ups to Dre for that. And also, in some wedding news for the weekend, Travis Hunter, the number 2 overall NFL pick, he of Jacksonville Jaguars now, formerly Colorado Buffaloes, he and his fiance, Leanna Lenee, they're getting married this weekend in Tennessee. So Travis just celebrated his 22nd birthday the other day, May 18th. Shout out to the Taurus. But they're getting married. He is also managed to, the courts granted his father permission, because his father's incarcerated, to attend the ceremony. So he's allowed to do that. And, Travis and Leanna said, we getting off social media and we're going to do us and bump the world. So, players and blessings out to that union. Everybody on both ends should have some paperwork. That's just my thought process. Both sides. And, we're sending them good vibes. Would you say, Andy?
From his side only.
From both sides. Let's just, she might need some protection should they separate. And, we'll just see. But everybody protect everybody. Listen, when we come forward, we have more trending topics and headlines to get into. All the tea. You know how we do over here. All that and more on the other side. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Your ride with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. You ready?
Somebody make some noise in this joint.
KBLA Talk 1580 celebrates its 4th anniversary this year on Juneteenth.
Here we go again.
Hard to believe 4 years has gone by so fast.
Oh my God.
But here we are, still standing, still loving and serving our people as best we can.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
To celebrate our 4th anniversary, we have 4 big events, and you're invited to all of them.
She got a lot to say. Let's do this.
Let's get it on.
On Wednesday, June 18th, we go live on C-SPAN for the 2nd consecutive year with our Climate Justice Plus Black Health Symposium. Tavis Smiley will moderate an all-star panel of thinkers and influencers as we continue our vitally important climate justice work.
Hey, Tavis Smiley, talk about.
On Thursday, June 19th, you're invited to join us as we celebrate Juneteenth and our 4th anniversary. There will be plenty of food, fun, great music, good vibes, and all of your favorite KBLA Talk 1580 hosts will be there.
Yeah, man.
Click the beat. On Saturday, June 21st, there are 2 big events you're invited to attend.
I can't wait to hear it.
This year, KBLA Talk 1580 continues its annual partnership with the Empowerment Congress for a community celebration and dialogue to educate, engage, and empower. This year's theme is resilience in the face of chaos.
Can't wait to see what's up next.
Y'all ain't ready for this.
And new this year is our State of Black Women in Los Angeles Symposium, moderated by Dominique DePrima, with a luncheon to follow. Dominique will be leading a dialogue with some of the most impactful Black women leaders in Los Angeles, and you're invited to join.
This is it.
All of these events are free, but seating is limited, so you must register in advance at our KBLA1580.com website, where you can find all the details you need about each event.
Check it out.
It's our 4th anniversary, and we would love to celebrate it with you.
I love you guys so much. There's nothing you can do about it.
We're KBLA Talk 1580.
The only black talk radio station west of the Mississippi.
Thank you for having our black.
Happy anniversary, KBLA!
Love you. Love you.
It's me, Olay Indulgent Moisture Body Wash. I see those dry elbows, baby. But don't worry, get moisturized right in the shower. So hydrated you can skip the lotion after.
Don't wanna see it dry no more. Skin so moisturized with body wash.
Look at you now, no more dry skin. Your skin gets the moisture it craves with
Olay Indulgent Moisture Body Wash.
What? All the budget has to be used now? And we can use all the media buy?
Javier's marketing firm just got its dream funding.
Okay, ideas. Bobbleheads? No. T-shirt cannon? I seriously need some help here.
He needs to find marketing managers who are worth every dollar.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Sponsoring a job on Indeed gives it a visibility boost so you can hire faster. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Now back to more entertainment news with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Welcome back in. You are locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. So before we get into all of these topics, of course, you know how we do over here. 800-920-1580. If at any point you want to get in on the conversation, we're also on social media, KBLA 1580. And I'm personally at Stiletto Jill. Download the app. Take us with you on the go this weekend. Catch up on any episodes you may have missed. I think that sounds like a great thing to do. And join us in the YouTube chat. The YouTube chat is always active, always bustling. Shout out to them. Man, did you guys attend the Kendrick and SZA concert here in LA? I've been seeing the videos. I have to admit, I have a little bit of FOMO.
Yeah. I was about to say, don't bring it up.
Right, a little bitter.
I'm mad.
A little bitter. I'm like, dang, I should have moved on that harder. Dang, maybe I should have paid to sit in the. I shouldn't have paid to sit.
Duty was calling for me. You know what I'm saying? I had to hold it down over here, but
right.
Some of the stuff that I saw was pretty dope. Lizzo, and SZA doing that thing. I read a report that Kendrick is like the highest grossing hip hop touring artist or something like that.
Yeah, like 14 million in a single night. I guess one of the shows here, it might have been before he got here, but that tour is doing big things, and it's a co-headlining tour, so they switch off during the show. So SZA will come out and perform some stuff, then maybe they'll transition into something together.
Got it.
And then Kendrick will take over for a little bit, so they switch off back and forth.
Okay.
I think that's a great dynamic.
Kind of like what Beyonce and Jay-Z did.
Yeah, that time on the Run tour.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I wish.
They got one more date
here.
Yeah.
I feel like
3.
it is 3. So I think is this night 3 tonight?
I'm not.
I think this might be night 3. I'm not sure, but I just feel like I missed out a little bit.
I'm with you.
I'm a little sad, but shout out to them getting it in. All right, listen. Speaking of great Black female performers. And I want to say shout out to Mick Jagger, because this is the second project involving Black talent that he is involved with producing. Live Nation has tapped Ingenue Ellis Taylor to write this Sister Rosetta Thorpe biopic. Now, if you know who that is, she is a guitar player, a blues guitar player, one of the first rockabilly ones, Black woman from the South. Did she do Hound Dog? I can't remember if she did that, but her guitar playing is legendary, set the stage for a lot of things, but her story is not one that a lot of people are aware of. And so Mick Jagger is producing via his Jagged Films. He has the full estate rights for this, as well as the music catalog rights. So it's based on Gail Wald's biography, Shout Sister Shout. So, I mean, we know Ingenue is a force in and of herself, right? But to step in and be a part of this on the other side as well, I'm almost certain that she'll end up in the lead as well. But if not, she's such a creative entity. I'm excited, and I'm excited to see this be brought to the stage because, as mentioned, a lot of people aren't familiar with her work, but she influenced tons of legends: Elvis Presley, Johnny Cash, Chuck Berry, Tina Turner, Bonnie Raitt, Eric Clapton, and Little Richard. The list goes on and on. She's been dubbed the godmother of rock and roll. She died in 1973, but was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame posthumously in 2018. So, we talk a lot about, and this is why, this is a side, I believe Beyonce's Act 3 of Renaissance is going to be a rock album. So those are just some things, out there to keep you in the mix, right? As we do here. So shout out to all of that. Now, let's get into this conversation that Jamie Foxx had with Eddie Murphy. Because I thought that, shout out to Royal Jenkins in the chat. Big Mama Thornton did Hound Dog. Appreciate you. I knew It was a black woman that played guitar. The name escaped me, but thank you for holding it down. All right, so this is the tea. Excuse me. Well, maybe not tea, but an interesting conversation. So we know that Jamie Foxx recently aired his Netflix special, which was more like a variety show. It had comedy, it had music, it had song. He was acting out some things on stage in moments, right? It was just a really nice thing. And it was the first time we had seen Jamie back on the comedy stage in quite a while. Well, in a recent interview, Jamie talked about why it took him a bit of time to get back to the comedy stage. And he said that, you know, he felt like, what was I going to talk about? I was rich behind my gates. He said that he visited Eddie Murphy when Murphy was filming Coming to America 2, right? And they were having a conversation because Eddie was kind of going through the same thing, debating on returning to the comedy stage, kind of going through all of that. And Jamie Foxx said he told him, you know what? Your house is too nice. What does that smell? Eddie Murphy says pomegranate, because Eddie has one of those systems that floats fragrance through the house. It's timed and it releases fragrance throughout the house. So, you know, like when you walk into hotels, like the One Hotel or the Four Seasons, they have a certain scent in all of them, no matter the location you go to. And it just seems to be wafting from the walls. Well, Eddie has that set up in his house, right? And Jamie was like, the fact that you have pomegranate smells in your house and you know what it is, you aren't funny no more. Stop that. And Jamie also said that though he would not want to, excuse me, go through a stroke again, it gave him some perspective and something to talk about on stage. And I think there is something to be said about that, because and we've seen this on the opposite end, not having to do with comedy, but just as we've been going through the details of the Diddy trial and some other things. When you become extremely, extremely wealthy, you can insulate yourself or isolate, depending upon how you look at it. You are wealthy enough so that your day-to-day interactions are not necessarily in line with the average person. So there might be a connectivity issue. Things that you find funny and amusing may not reach or touch the public in the same way, because you don't have the same sort of sharp perspectives that you have, because you're not just out in the world living and observing. Like, realistically, and I know we had seen video at different times of Eddie walking to get coffee, and I believe he lives in Bel Air or Brentwood, one of those areas. But when do you think the last time, of course it can happen in LA, but how often do you think Eddie has pulled up like on a Jamaican spot and waited for his jerk chicken, some ackee or something like that? Probably not, right? He'll have a chef come over and prepare it. You know, things like that. When do you think the last time he's been in a grocery store? I remember Oprah talking about how she didn't know how to use an ATM. She had never used an ATM before. Like, so there are just certain things. And I think for comedy, which is something that, you know, often can dance along the line of informative and offensive, like, you know, shocking you into things or giving you a different look. I think that there's an edge there that sometimes when you just become so big and so sort of cocooned, you lose some of that edge. And the interesting thing is that I feel like Eddie took heed to that, because I know there was a couple of things where he was kind of out in clubs, kind of trying to test out the waters of some stuff. And, you know, I don't know how well it went, but he hasn't done it again, you know? So I don't know, maybe an intimate special with him and his friends or something like that. But I think that he is kind of in a lot of ways past the point of hitting the comedy stage. Andy?
I think he should still go ahead and, you know, exercise his muscles for the sake of doing it, because it's like Will Smith, right? I don't know if he had high expectations with, you know, his album that he just recently dropped, but it sounded like this is something that he wanted to do. right? He wanted to take it back to the essence. So I say, go ahead and do the comedy thing. But I also do agree with Jamie Foxx that you're probably not funny. Let's be honest. I think with any form of entertainment, whether it's music, whether it's sports for that matter, you know, once you reach a certain level, that hunger that you used to have when, you know, when you was on the grind, when it was humble beginnings, because honestly, I feel like the best product comes from that anyway. You know what I'm saying? Once you're kind of, you know, rich and famous, it's like nobody wants to hear that. Like you said, the average person is not like that. So is it true that he might not be funny? Yeah. But I still think he should go ahead and
try it out.
Try it out. You never know.
I think he does not want, one, I don't think he's passionate about it like Will was for music. I think that's one thing. I think it was just something maybe he was thinking, maybe I'll dabble. You know, I think that all this comedic rock star, Kevin Hart, #1 comedian in the world stuff, he might have just been like, you think? Maybe.
Wasn't he recently like on Saturday Night Live doing skits and all that?
He was.
I mean, that was funny.
And that was funny. Right. But that has writers. Not that he couldn't get writers for his thing. I think that he has to get his reps in. And I think for a superstar like Eddie Murphy, it might be kind of difficult, especially if there are bobble moments. Do you know what I'm saying? And he may not want to endure that part of it. Fahima in the chat says one can compare and contrast their life before being wealthy and make it funny. They can, but I feel like Eddie did that already. He did that in Raw. He talked about his room with nothing but sodas and some of the, you know, the differences with the type of women he dated and why he wanted a fufu and things like that. I think that he's done that. Do you know what I'm saying? We're beyond that. You have to think about Eddie has been famous since the 80s, right? High level since he was 19. I believe that, not that, I'm not saying he should give up, but I don't feel the passion for it from him. So I think that it would be a kind of, I don't know, not a fruitful endeavor because I don't feel like he really wants it. And it could be a little rocky. Again, outside looking in, I've obviously never had a conversation with Eddie, but we'll see what happens, right? Fahima says, Murphy was hilarious in that last movie, You People. Really?
I enjoyed that movie. You didn't.
I liked it.
You didn't like it.
I did, so no.
It was whatever. It was
just okay to me.
I respect
it. I thought there could have been a little bit more. I love the premise. I love the setup. Yeah. I love the storyline. I just feel like a little something was missing.
It was rushed.
And I think that goes into a little bit of what I'm kind of highlighting. I just think Eddie needs to be in the mix in a way that he probably is Eddie's 60 something, right?
He looks great.
He looks amazing. Why does he want to be out here fooling with you peasants?
Wow.
If it's not I'm joking,
I know.
But if it's not a burning, you know what I mean? He's rich beyond means. He's set up. He's making his little movies occasionally. I don't know. Eddie Murphy is just in conversation funny. Like you watch any of the interviews he does, he's just naturally funny.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll have to see. Forrest Harrison said Eddie Murphy never had to audition for a movie. Shout out to #1 on the call sheet on Apple TV because that is something that came out in that interview. Yeah, so big ups to Eddie. Forrest Harrison also mentions a really good movie with Eddie in a serious role is Mr. Church. I don't remember that movie. I do, but I've never seen it, I guess I should say. But shout out to Eddie. Shout out to Jamie. Jamie is hitting the comedy stage in a couple of weeks for the Netflix is a Joke Festival with some others. So, you know, yes.
I'm over here thinking like Jamie could help Eddie with some of his jokes.
He could, but Jamie gets help with some of his jokes.
Oh, excuse me.
I mean, everybody does. Because the thing is this, at a certain amount of time, like I said, sometimes your brain isn't always there. Sometimes Kevin Hart gets help with his jokes. I mean, people get help. Richard Pryor got help with his jokes.
So you know what that tells me now? Jamie Foxx is still competitive. He is low key.
Oh, you think he's positioning?
100%. 100%.
Or maybe he's challenging him. Maybe he's getting Eddie's competitive juices
something like
going,
that. Something
hyping
like
him
that.
up.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Listen, really quickly, we've been talking about Anthony Edwards and Ayesha Howard and their custody suit for the past few months. You know, she has an older child with little baby. The mudslinging is getting intense out here. Anthony is alleging that she is popping up at the hotels where his team is traveling or sending people there to attempt to serve him, trying to disrupt his life and his career. She's also, according to him, harassing his NBA teammates who are in the Western Conference Finals right now, right? It is so giving leave me alone energy with legal receipts, but Ayesha is saying, oh, I didn't know legally serving someone was considered harassing. You know, so they're still battling back and forth about location, what will be the rights, what is happening, and what is going on. Edwards' attorney is saying this behavior affects his job and isn't in the child's best interest because the mother is releasing text receipts and setting the child up for ridicule further down the line. But Ayesha says she is just responding to false accusations and narratives that Edwards' team is putting out about her. All we know is it's a mess. This continues to go on. Prayers for that little girl, because she's going to read about all this and her parents when she gets older, and so will some of her friends and haters. So shout out to them. I hope for a peaceful resolution. Listen, when we come forward, we're going to get into 2 Chainz, more trending topics and headlines, and that interview coming up with Patina Miller and Sasha Penn. All that on the other side. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
You're in the know with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. Security remains heightened at Jewish sites across New York City after 2 Israeli embassy staffers were fatally shot in Washington, D.C. Black Mayor Eric Adams condemned the attack and called for an end to pro-Palestinian protests.
We cannot color code hatred.
The suspect, Elias Rodriguez, faces a first-degree murder charge and reportedly shouted, "Free Palestine," during his arrest. New details are out on a settlement between black actor Jussie Smollett and the city of Chicago. Smollett's 2021 conviction for staging a fake hate crime was overturned last year. As part of the settlement, Smollett has agreed to donate $50,000 to a local youth art center. And a federal judge is criticizing the arrest and quick dismissal of charges against Black Newark, New Jersey Mayor Ross Baraka. U.S. Magistrate Judge Andre Espinoza called the drop trespassing case an embarrassing retraction and warned prosecutors against using the legal system for political purposes. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
It's a tough drive in the Cajon Pass, 15 northbound leaving the 210 all the way to the 138. And southbound slowing, it's kind of crowded in Ontario between the 10 and the 60. A little crowded through Norco, and delays in Corona from Magnolia Avenue to Wyrick Road. The drive along the 5 is going to be crowding up northbound out of Irvine. This is getting away from just about Jeffrey Road, heavy ahead towards Harbor in Anaheim. And it's also a slow drive in South LA, 110 northbound from the 105 to the 5.
Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice. Continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at unbound.org.
Is this the This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Here's a few numbers to support why Angels manager Ron Washington, one of only 2 black managers in Major League Baseball, has one of the hottest teams in the game right now. The Angels have a 7-game winning streak heading into tonight's home game against Miami. The Angels are 11-5 in their last 16 games. They have had at least 1 home run in 12 straight games. Left fielder Taylor Ward has delivered an extra base hit in 8 straight games, including a game-changing grand slam on Thursday at Oakland. The Angels are now 500 on the road at 15-15. Let's hope that Washington can keep his team in a good groove. The LA Sparks are back in action tonight at Crypto.com against the WNBA's new franchise, the Golden State Valkyries. Newly acquired guard Kelsey Plum leads the WNBA and made 3-pointers with 3.7 per game. Plum ranks second in the league in scoring at 26.7. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Follow the leader.
KBLA Talk 1580.
Follow the leader.
If you're not following KBLA Talk 1580 on all of our socials, then you're missing out. Download our app and find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and on the web at KBLA 1580.
That's right.
Again, you can find all of our socials at KBLA 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
By the way, if you miss any of our weekday shows in real time, you can always catch up by checking out the podcast of your favorite shows at your leisure. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Follow the leader. Oh my God. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
Attorney advertising. Prior results do not guarantee future outcomes.
Founded in Los Angeles in 1986, litigation powerhouse Quinn Emanuel has deep roots in the Los Angeles community. Since 2007, we have litigated some of the largest fires on the West Coast. We are proud to be the only AmLaw 100 firm in the country to represent wildfire victims, giving affected individuals, families, and businesses the same focus and individualized attention we devote to our Fortune 500 clients. BTI Consulting has repeatedly recognized Quinn Emanuel as among the 4 law firms in-house counsel least like to oppose in any litigation, and we are often deemed the most feared. And after securing over $80 billion for our clients in various matters firm-wide, we understand why. If you have been affected by the recent wildfires in Altadena and the Palisades and would like to discuss your situation further, please contact wildfire support at QuinnEmanuel.com or call us at 213-443-3050. Quinn Emanuel is proud to sponsor Conversation Live Altadena Rising with James Farr on KBLA Talk 1580.
Attorney advertising. Prior results do not guarantee future outcomes.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Worried about eviction? You have rights, and Stay Housed LA can help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between LA County, the City of Los Angeles, and local service providers. From Lancaster to Long Beach, we're here to help you with tenant education workshops, legal clinics, free legal services for eligible tenants, and online resources about tenant protection laws. Don't face eviction alone. Call our hotline at 1-888-694-0040. That's 1-888-694-0040. Or visit stayhousedla.org. Stay Housed LA, keeping Los Angeles residents in their homes. Stay Housed LA, your rights, your home, our community. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music. music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
In addition to the fact that happy birthday, Maxwell. It's Maxwell's birthday. But I feel like this is such a summer vibe song. And since this is the first, official weekend where we kick off summer, I think it's appropriate. It's such a vibe. Just like sunset, windows down, warm air, breeze blowing.
Barbecue.
Where
to play that.
Man, y'all got some plates going this weekend? Send us up
you
one.
Feel me? I need one.
Do you know what I'm saying? I don't eat pork or beef, so just the chicken.
Hey, chicken fire too.
But pass the barbecue this way. We like it.
Hold on, I gotta ask.
Yes, sir.
Are you a drums or flats individual?
I like wings and breasts.
Shout out to you.
Do you know what I'm saying? I can do a drum or a flat.
Okay.
Sometimes I like flats more. Sometimes I like drums more. It just depends. Sometimes chicken looks a little funny, so you like, maybe I shouldn't do any. Right. But
okay.
Yeah, I'm a white meat chicken girl with some boneless chicken thighs, kind of slap as well.
I'm with you.
A little chicken sausage. We like that.
That's right. What sides?
Potato salad.
Ew.
You don't like potato salad?
I don't like nothing salad. If it ain't green, I don't want it.
I love potato salad.
Salad. It's too much mayo for me.
Okay. I mean, I see that. People have a mayo aversion. I love a good fruit salad.
Okay.
I like salads in general, though. I love a summer salad. Like, I could eat salads every day.
Ambrosia?
No. Absolutely not. No.
Yo, I used to hate ambrosia. Hate that joint.
Plus, I'm not a coconut girl.
I'm with you.
So, no, thank you. What else are summer salad? Baked beans? Occasionally.
I'm baked beans.
Occasionally. I'm not really macaroni salad. Maybe. Yeah, I know mayonnaise for you again, right? Yep. But what about like a pasta salad that doesn't have like a cream base or a mayo base? It has like, an Italian vinaigrette with some vegetables and just hearty. And
I could rock with that. I could rock with an Alfredo sauce, but
no. We're not talking Alfredo. No.
You talking about vinaigrettes and stuff?
Or just a cold pasta salad?
No.
No.
I'm not even a fan of cold pasta.
Okay.
I can do cold other things, but pasta?
No.
I don't know about all that.
I don't know. What other sides go with barbecue? I don't know.
Greens?
They do. I mean, I'm always down for some greens. I just got to know how you cook them because, again, I'm obviously complicated. No pork in my greens. Sorry.
I mean, so you're not doing ribs, obviously.
No, I haven't had pork since 1995.
Shout outs to you. Salute to you.
And I haven't had beef since about 2005.
Shout out to you. Chicken links?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
For certain.
Okay.
For certain.
Some links then.
Yeah.
Some barbecue sauce or ketchup?
Barbecue sauce. Like
Nice.
a little spicy. Sometimes we could do a little, Carolina mustard based one. Yeah. So I could talk all day about food. We have a show here for that, but I'm just saying. Listen, it's the holiday weekend. Get into it. Okay. So listen. 2 Chainz recently revealed that back in the day, people like Birdman, when, Wayne was the hottest rapper alive, everybody was trying to get a verse, he would absolutely upcharge for the services. There is a I'm in the mix fee. I wonder if that is in addition to whatever percentage cut he gets off of Wayne's fees as well. So basically, in a Club Shay Shay interview, 2 Chainz talked about how if anybody wanted to work with Wayne, Birdman would be, because Wayne at that time was $100K a verse. $100K a verse. 16 bars. Do you know what I'm saying? 100K a verse. So if you wanted to connect with Wayne, Birdman was like, and it'll be 100K for me too. 200K for a Lil Wayne feature. Now here is the thing, right? Which 2 Chainz talked about. At that time, for the most part, if you got a Lil Wayne feature on your song, right? If you got the 200K, it is worth it to pay it with that charge on there because you were going to go to the stratosphere, right? So something else happened. It got mixed up, but they ended up doing the situation together, the song together, and it did just that. It's Duffle Bag Boy. And we know that was a big hit for 2 Chainz. Lil Wayne was at his Lil Wayne Preakness. I feel like that was about 2007, 2006 when that dropped, right? Miami was really, Khaled, all of those things.
Before he was 2 Chainz.
Oh, he was still TT Boys when that was going on?
Oh, yeah.
On Duffle Bag Boy?
He was not 2 Chainz yet.
That is right.
Because 2 Chainz was like 2011, 2010.
Okay. That's right. And by the way, branding is everything because he really needed to change that name. I remember when he first dropped with DTP, Disturbing the Peace, right? Yeah, and it was like, what's that name? Who's saying that? Who's talking about that? For real. Nobody. But shout out to him. He said he bought Wayne some red Gucci sneakers instead, and that's how the connection came down, and that Wayne just slid the verse on it for him. So I don't know if he ever actually ended up shooting Birdman that extra 100, but he said it would be worth it, and I'm sure a lot of other people feel that way. But the question is that extortion? I'm just asking, right? You ask your homie to connect you with the plug, you get a finder's fee? Whatever the plug may be.
This damn American tax system is extortionate.
I mean, capitalism, right? I don't know. Don't know. All right, listen. We still have more trending topics and headlines to go. Am I wrapping? Okay. So actually, first of all, shout out to y'all. I appreciate y'all. I hope that you are getting it in this weekend. When we come forward, you're going to be hearing from Patina Miller, star of Raising Kanan, about the jaw-dropping season finale that happened last week, and the series showrunner, Sasha Penn. They're giving some intel on what we can expect for season 5 and just down-to-earth details, and I appreciate them. So make sure you guys are locked in with that. Andy? I got Monday. That's the next thing. So on this same kind of vibe, Monday is a holiday, y'all, but we will be here for you in a way. We're having a special show for you on Monday, all interviews. So if you missed out on any of the fantastic interviews that I've had over the past couple of months with the cast and series showrunner of Netflix Forever, the Sinners interviews with the cast from that, a couple of others, we're going to pack those all in for you on Monday right here, 6 p.m. so you can enjoy your holiday with a twist. Now, stick and stay for that Patina Miller and Sasha Penn interview coming up, and have a libation on me for the weekend. I'll talk to y'all Tuesday.
I need a pamper on toilet paper on the side, for example, homie. I get money. I know you ain't heard no shit like this, and while you wishing on that phone
entertainment scoop in Los Angeles. She's bringing you exclusive interviews with today's biggest stars, behind-the-scenes Hollywood insights, and all the entertainment news you need to know. She's breaking down what's trending, what's ending, and what's just beginning in the world of entertainment. You're riding with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
I feel so alone.
I'm embarrassed to talk about it.
How can I help my kid if I can't help myself?
I can't remember when I wasn't stressed.
I don't like it inside.
When you feel overwhelmed by your thoughts and emotions, it's okay to get help. You are not alone. CalHope is here for you with free, safe, and confidential mental health resources for youth, young adults, families, and you. Find support now at calhope.org.
If you need to hire, it seems like the whole process can be exhausting. You search resumes, wait for the right candidates to apply, set up initial interviews. It's a lot of time and work. Well, what if you could meet with qualified candidates for your job the very next day? Now you can with Zip Intro from ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. Zip Intro is super easy to use. You simply pick a time, and it does all the work of finding and scheduling qualified candidates for you. Then you can choose who you want to talk to and meet with great people on back-to-back video calls as soon as the next day. Best of all, you save time and energy.
Try Zip Intro for free right now at this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. Zip Intro. Post jobs today, talk to qualified candidates tomorrow. Once again, go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you that we keep us safe. Every girl deserves a chance to shine. That's the belief behind Forgiving for Living, Inc. Since 1999, this organization has been empowering at-risk girls ages 13 to 18, helping them overcome behavioral and mental health challenges. Founder Wendy Gladney's personal journey inspired the mission to give girls hope and purpose through the power of forgiveness. Through their ambassador program, workshops, and annual conference, Forgiving for Living has touched over 3,000 young lives, providing mentoring, life skills, training, and tools for building self-esteem and confidence. You can make a difference. Visit forgivingforliving.org to donate, volunteer, become a mentor, or find help for a young girl in need. Forgiving for Living, Inc., building brighter futures for young girls. Visit forgivingforliving.org today. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Hi, I'm Zoe Williams, a.k.a. the Voice of Reason, encouraging you to join me weekdays from 7 to 9 p.m. for the world's most intriguing relationship radio roundtable. Every night, I facilitate and encourage our loyal listeners to participate in the most engaging relationship discussions you'll hear anywhere. So make it a point to rendezvous with me, Zoe Williams, the Voice of Reason, Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Trust me, your relationships will never be the same. The VOR is on fire tonight.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you in the African-American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. Or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
Now back to more entertainment news with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Jill Munroe with EUR Web. It is a pleasure to speak with you both today. First of all, oh my God. Oh my God, what are you trying to do to me? So starting out, Sasha, I want to know at what point you decided that this was the season where we would see the turn in Kanan and that he would confront his mother in such a way?
I mean, I don't know, Jill, there was like an incredibly conscious decision as much as it's where the story led us. You know, I mean, we always felt like, when I say we, the writers and the cast, we always felt like, you know, by the end of the series, you sort of have to see some version of Kanan that bears a resemblance to who he was in Power. And so I think each season has been sort of an incremental step in that direction. And, you know, the 5th season is our final season. And so we felt like this was, you know, this is that moment, you know, where Kanan has come of age and finally is able to sort of see his mother with clearer eyes, so to speak, or at least he thinks he has clearer eyes. And so, yeah, I mean, that it felt like this was that time. And of course, look, we continue it in season 5. It's not like we're done here, but yeah, I mean, it felt like the story had brought us there rather than us saying like, this is that moment. We took the journey and this is where we've ended up, if that makes sense.
It does. My heart. Patina, we have been on a roller coaster. We've seen Rock in so many, in vulnerability, in predator mode, in protector mode. When you got this final script, what were your thoughts for Rock as a character and what you had seen her evolve in these last 4 seasons?
I think I knew that it was going to be something like this, right? Because Rock had been through so many of these different moments. We have seen her go through so many different things. I knew with this relationship, like Sasha was saying, like all of the moments led to that point. And so it was sad, you know, because the actor in me never stopped rooting for the relationship. And I don't think Raquel stopped wanting the relationship. And this is actually a point where she's actually innocent, right? Like she's done some really like terrible things. But like this season, you know, she actually was kind of honest, like she didn't do all of the things that everyone's putting on her, but you know, that's sort of what it is. And I knew that all of those things would lead to this. And when I saw the script and, you know, we're reading along, we get to the jukebox Rock scene, my heart broke again. It's like, damn, jukebox not on her side. So I knew it wasn't going well. And then so that last scene happened, and you know, me as the actor was really sad but really proud that we had told a story from seasons 1 till now, and all good things must come to an end. And this felt like the appropriate ending of that relationship. You know, I think about season 1, the end, when she's at the beach and she's teaching Kanan how to use a gun, and she's telling him how, you know, his name, the bullet will be circling and all this and that. And I couldn't help but kept thinking of that for the last moment in season 1 and how much it meant and how much it hit for the end of season 4 in like a way she probably didn't even expect, you know?
I mean, yeah. I kept saying, I don't see your body. I don't see your body. But a theme of this season was very much you are who you are. We saw that with Juke. We saw that with Lou. We saw that with Marvin. For the characters and that sort of realization and kind of not even, I guess, a 360 moment, because it brings them back in a different sort of way to the place where they started. How do you plan on expanding and growing that vision out in season 5? I know you can't give us much, but yeah.
Expanding the vision of them sort of reconvening.
Realize, yeah, you are who you are. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely are who you are. And I think families are what they are. Like you know, anyone who has a family, and all of us do, you know, the dynamic is kind of baked in. There's not a ton you can do to change it. You know, people are who they are, and their relationships with the other members of their families, you know, they don't shift and change all that much. I think what you'll see in season 5 is this family trying to, Frank, with your point, Jill, reimagine itself as a new sort of version of itself. And that's really, really hard to do. You know, I think they are trying to sort of like realign, but there's so much water under the bridge. It's like, can you do that? Can you do that? You know, And, it's funny. It's like, I remember, I'm sure, I had a girlfriend years ago, and I remember her saying to me, like, I have the best family. You're going to love my family. They're amazing. And I remember meeting her family being like, man, your family sucks. Like, they all hate each other. And so often that is the case with people, right? It's just like, we imagine our family to be so much better than what it is because we idealize our family. We're like, oh, my family is the best. And then it's like, you do take a step back. You're like, no, my family is up. And, I think that's a little bit of what's happening here, that like the imagined version is way better than the real version. And the imagined version, by the way, never actually existed. And so I think that's part of the story we're telling.
So in wrapping up, last question, we see the introduction of Breeze in this episode through a lot of manipulation with pops and snaps. Kudos to you for that lineage, because that was a twist I'm sure a lot of fans won't see coming, and it was amazing. What are your thoughts about us finally getting into Breeze, and what should the fans look forward to in this sort of mythical character that we've built up in our minds over the years?
Yeah, well, again, I hope the real version's as good as the imagined version, and I think that's part of what we're going to work against the entire time, right? Which is like, this character has existed sort of in everyone's minds for years. And so everyone's going to have their own version of who he should be and what he should look like. And so, that's going to be part of what's really interesting about the introduction of the character and sort of how he exists in the series. I will say that I think the version that we have here is one that feels having talked to Courtney extensively about it, does feel very close to what she imagined. I think it's a character, it is a character that sort of exists in legend at this point. So, anytime you have someone stepping into the shoes of a legend, there's always going to be some controversy. So I'm sure this will be no exception to that rule.
Amazing. Well, thank you both so much for your time. Every season I say this is my favorite season of the show, but this was, and the finale was incredible. Patina, thank you for your work.
Thank you very much.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. Security remains heightened at Jewish sites across New York City after 2 Israeli embassy staffers were fatally shot in Washington, D.C. Black Mayor Eric Adams condemned the attack and called for an end to pro-Palestinian protests.
We cannot color code hatred.
The suspect, Elias Rodriguez,